Oh hey internet, welcome back. It's Type QQ, it's the Noisz demo. It's on normal difficulty this time. So if you haven't checked out the last video, this is a new game coming on Steam, early access, excuse me, in maybe a week's time, maybe a week and a half time. Don't quote me on that. It's better. You should probably check out the Steam page for more accurate information. But touted as a sort of rhythm game meets shoot 'em up game. It's a sort of not bullet hell game. It's a sort of boss rush game meets like DDR, I would say, or something to that equivalent where there's no real stages, but like skill-based boss battles, and disguised as like almost like tracks that you would in like a Guitar Hero or DDR type of experience. And that's what I would necessarily kind of almost equate this as, more like I was speaking in the last video. I would equate this more to a rhythm game than I would a shoot up, just because of how the mechanics kind of like say a rhythm game take precedent over the mechanics that you find in a shoot 'em up or a bullet hell like game. I think that's kind of accurate how I described it last time, as it's almost like it's a rhythm game masked as a shoot 'em up game, not really necessarily the other way around. Whereas we'll see in later songs and levels how I can get absolutely decimated, but the experience continues and there's no game over. So it really much is a a rhythm game with scoring and comboing and that sort of stuff in mind. But yes, we played it on easy last time. This time on normal difficulty to kind of see what the difference is. And also for controls real quick, I'm on my keyboard, so that's arrows for move, that's Z for shot, that's X for shield. And both the shield and the shot are meant to be in time with the music. Unfortunately, can't really necessarily like hammer the buttons as much as you'd like. The damage is linked with how high your combo gauge is, so you have to kind of attempt to do it in a timely manner with the song. And same with shield. The shield won't necessarily work unless it's in time, and if that's not in time, you'll lose your combo as well. So yeah, I think that's kind of. I think that's that. The only other really weird thing is that your shield only can absorb the white-blue bullets. The red ones are purely dodgeable. Even when it seems like that your, red-black form, which is your natural form, can kind of bash yourself into the red bullets. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You'll still get damaged by them. So the best way you can do is kind of flip your polarity like you were playing Ikaruga and go through some white bullets, and that's pretty much it. However, this game is in early access, or going to be in early access, in not so many words, it's still in development, so heck, a lot of this stuff could change. But we are on our last verse of the 4 verses in the song. And I guess they split that up between different styles of patterns and attacks, essentially. And I do have to say, despite the fact that I don't think this game is entirely made for me, I am kind of getting the hang of it. I think that the trickiest thing I find for myself is that sort of like rub your belly, tap your head type of stuff, where I can't really multitask with keeping one finger in time and then moving possibly out of time with the other. But I think that's the whole challenge of the game. That's what I think is they're trying to display here, I guess. B for our first song there on normal, so not so bad, I suppose. I think that's the whole point of the game, is to do two things, at the same time and see how well you do it. Alright, so now we got the sort of Robo-Rhino. And yes, you have 5 hits per verse before essentially, you know, it's thrown away. We got these charging rhinos as well. And the large ones you can kind of shoot down and defeat, and the smaller ones will actually stick around and block block your shots, yeah, just like so. So you kind of have to like, all right, now you have to work around them. But so far on normal difficulty, I didn't necessarily find that steep of a jump between easy to this. So I think this is a very playable difficulty as well. Although let's save it for the third song, I guess, too. So we can turn up the volume a little bit, I guess. I think that should work. Alright, so it looks like we're wrapping up the second verse here. Hopefully dealing enough damage to kind of get the verse in green, but we are trying to get the hell out of the way of these giant lasers. Oh, and this is, I think this is, luckily we got it into green, but I think it's kind of, this is where it goes tits up, where kind of like a party light, you know, it's going to flash blue and red, and we're supposed to go the blue direction as well as use our shield. So that's and it's almost like you can't even combo it with a shot, because sometimes your shot will interfere with the timing of your shield. So tricky stuff. It looks like we made it through just barely though. Onto the third verse. You might as well, while you have your shield up, you know, escaping a laser, you might as well smash into some bullets as well and get them off the screen. So it just looks like we brought this verse into green here as well. Which is turning out pretty well, all things considered. On to verse 4. So far, so good. But quickly taking a couple damage there, so maybe not. Yeah. I think the fast laser's gonna... Yeah. As we suspected, I think this verse is going to be a lost cause here. But 3 out of 4 ain't bad, I suppose. Especially where, you know, to be completely honest, a lot of this is still very disorienting and new for me. I don't necessarily do very well with like rhythm games in particular. I had just discussed it before, but I don't think we've actually played it before. But A City Asleep or A City Sleeps is a game I have in my Steam library, which is another sort of it's a, I believe it's a, if I get my terminology right, it's a horizontal twin stick shooter, horizontal scrolling as well, with musical elements. But I absolutely despised that game, and I just hated it. So yeah, 3 out of 4 out of this one. So I feel with a B no less either. So I think that's even, was it C last time or was it another B? Maybe it was 2 Bs. But yeah, even for like a game genre that I'm not particularly decent at, you know, I think I'm grasping it. I think. However, we say that, and you know, this is where it goes to shit, honestly. Not to mention, this is just I think a rhythm I am not understanding. I mean, I'm not necessarily playing this song with headphones or at a loud volume. But, you know, it is practice, I suppose. You know, it's probably one of those things where you just have to kind of figure it out the more times you play it. But we're looking at 3 hits already, and we haven't, I think, maybe a third. Yeah, just there's a third right there. I mean, you can tell where the music almost choreographs when you want to use your shield as well. And that sort of squealing of the guitar, a good time to just rush forward with your shield and get the sort of bonus damage you would firing it back at the boss here. But ultimately, I think our difficulty in this stage is not necessarily dodging bullets, which certainly is the case, is that our combo gauge is never getting that high because I'm just not getting the rhythm at the right time. So our damage is never getting very high, and we're not getting into, not taking any of these verses into the green. However, we are getting very close with 20% there left. Sadly, with less than 20% missed it out. But yeah, certainly probably a percentage that we could have overcame if we had any timing to it whatsoever. Just mistimed entirely. Wow, and unfortunately, that's the third verse with 5 hits as well, so an absolute strikeout in almost every regard. I mean, maybe if we can take down this last verse versus 40% here, maybe salvage it to some degree, but no, not going to be the case. F. So, a couple B's, I believe, and an F. But that's how it works. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Do all that stuff, and we'll come back and we'll play some more in the future.